Function notation. F parentheses x parentheses equals x squared plus 3. If y equals x squared plus 3, we can also write f parentheses x parentheses equals x squared plus 3. The function notation makes it easier to apply more input values into the x variable position to gain more output values. In other words, the function notation works to make an equation more like an expression in its use. X squared plus 3 is an expression, and y equals x squared plus 3 is an equation because of the equals sign. By replacing the quote y equals end quote with quote f parentheses x n parentheses equals end quote, the equation is now in function form. For the function f parentheses x parentheses equals x squared plus 3, we can write f parentheses 1 n parentheses equals 1 squared plus 3, f parentheses 2 parentheses equals 2 squared plus 3, f parentheses 3 parentheses equals 3 squared plus 3, f parentheses 4 parentheses equals 4 squared plus 3, etc. These function forms are spoken as, quote, f of 1 equals 1 squared plus 3, and f of 2 equals 2 squared plus 3, and f of 3 equals 3 squared plus 3, and f of 4 equals 4 squared plus 3, etc. A benefit of the function notation might be in seeing more clearly how the x input value is the independent variable because we choose it, and the y output value, parentheses now called the quote f of x end quote value end parentheses, is the dependent variable or dependent value because it depends on what was input for x. We pronounce the function notation as quote f of x end quote, or given f parentheses 2 end parentheses we say quote f of 2 end quote. Function notation was classically introduced in Algebra 2, but recently it has been moved down to Algebra 1. The main reason for this change might be that it is easier to understand, use, and apply equations more like how expressions are used. Function notation is replacing the y in an equation with an f parentheses x parentheses to make an equation more useful in iterative parentheses repeated and parentheses calculations, parentheses like how an expression is used and parentheses. Synonyms, f parentheses x and parentheses. Related words, the function machine, input, output, independent variable, dependent variable.